You know, one thing I notice nowadays, especially with younger women, say under 30 years old, is how prevalent online dating is. See, I've personally always been an old-fashioned kind of guy who prefers meeting women in person, and I still think that that's the best way to meet women. But let's be real, the last 2 years made the world need to get more creative with doing things from home, including dating. In fact, the usage of dating apps has skyrocketed to the point where I meet women who literally don't know how to meet men other than through online dating. Like, the idea of meeting guys at some social event or club or bar seems foreign to a chunk of the female population because they've only ever done online dating. So I'm going to give you guys 3 tips when it comes to online dating to set you apart from 80% of men. See, I read a stat somewhere that when it comes to dating apps, the vast majority of men are considered below average. Yup, that's right. The average guy is considered below average by most women. And to be honest, as much as men like to complain about this fact, I don't blame women, because the vast majority of guys put almost no effort at all into their profiles. So by just following these few tips, you'll be in such rare company that success is inevitable. But first, a message from our sponsor, Dating.com, the world's largest online dating platform connecting men and women. It's a safe, private place for talking to people, dating, and starting long-term relationships. And I think we both know that dating is more than just an algorithm. It's more than just looking at someone's photos and judging them based on how they answered a few questions. Dating is about taking a chance to meet someone new, a chance to introduce yourself to people, places, and things you never knew you'd love. It's about the opportunity to spend time together, maybe even a lifetime, or maybe just a few weeks. Dating.com lets you interact with anyone, anywhere in this world, just the way you are. Each profile is verified, so you know you're not going to get catfished by some random person. You can use chat, video chat, voice messaging, or even live stream. That way, you get to know each other face to face, which is way faster than just texting. So if you're single and feeling lonely today, try downloading Dating.com on your mobile or click the link in the description below to get started today. So the first tip is the most key, which is profile optimization. I've made a video about this before in more detail, but basically this is obviously the first impression, the only way she has a view into who you are. So of course you need to put effort into the photos, meaning instead of putting a random selfie there that you took years ago, maybe actually have a friend of yours with a legit camera, or hire someone to follow you around the city for a day while you do a photo shoot. You could bring a few different outfits so that you could get it done all in one day, switching out different cool backgrounds. And personally, I don't think you need more than 3 photos, so focus on quality over quantity. I suggest having your photographer take like 100 pictures of you throughout the photo shoot, and out of 100 of them, at least 3 are bound to be great. The vast majority of them are gonna be unflattering, so toss those to the side and focus on the 3 best ones. Bonus points if you have a dog. In regards to a bio, just keep it short and sweet. Don't be too try-hard, just a little witty, and humor is always a plus. A good rule of thumb is that you don't want to put everything out there in the bio. You want to leave her room to wonder about you a little bit, to be curious. Now, the second tip I have is with texting girls once you start getting matches. The thing you need to keep in mind here is that a lot of girls have no intention of responding to you even if you do match. I know it's frustrating, but the truth is that a lot of girls out there are simply bored or want the validation of matching with some guys. So instead of taking it personally, learn to view dating apps as a numbers game. Now, there's a million different openers you could try, either cater to her specifically based on her profile, or just a general one that you could pretty much spam to every girl you match with. The key is to not be too emotionally attached to any girl you match with just because she looks pretty in her pictures or has the same favorite movie as you. At the end of the day, these are just imaginary profiles. None of it is real until you actually meet her in person. So you should still be the one to shoot the first message, of course, but don't be too invested. And then the third and final tip I have for you guys is with how you should be communicating to her through dating apps. Listen fellas, there's a million ways you could talk to a girl, and out of all of them, text is probably the least effective. There's so many micro expressions that simply can't be conveyed through text. That's why I always like to send a voice message after the first 1 or 2 texts that I send her. I want her to hear my voice. I want her to view me as a real person, not just some dude who's texting her on a dating app. If you have a social media account like Instagram, you could suggest to move the conversation there. Granted that your Instagram profile conveys some value, like you post stories of cool stuff that you do, food that you eat, places you go to, things like that. Again, this is all that she'll view you as a real person, so that you'll make a real impression on her where she's going to want to meet up with you, not just use you to boost her ego. Because at the end of the day, that's your goal, is to get her to meet up with you, to give her certain emotions where she has to meet up with you. It doesn't matter that you texted something silly or that you're scared of something that might offend her. None of that matters because you have to keep the end goal in mind. You're trying to get her out on a real date with you. Whatever you say doesn't matter as long as you accomplish this goal. That's why I don't hold back from doing things like sending voice notes. Sometimes I'll even suggest for us to do like a virtual date first, where it's pretty much just FaceTime before we actually meet in person. This way she'll feel way safer and you'll know if there's actually potential with this girl or if she's just wasting your time. So get creative, guys. There's a million ways to make an impression on a girl once you match with her. Don't confine yourself to just one. So that's it for the video, and to summarize, today we talked about 3 tips in regards to online dating, which is number 1, profile optimization, number 2, your mindset in regards to messaging matches, and then number 3, getting creative with how you communicate with girls. If you enjoyed this video, follow me on Instagram at thegentleman'sgameofficial, and as always, next week I have something fire planned, so make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Peace.